What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I am building something that I have never built before and that is a colonial house in Newcrest. This is my second home that I'm building in my attempt to fill up Newcrest. I uploaded a suburban family home, a suburban generations family home before this one, and that was actually my first build in my attempt to fill up Newcrest. And this is the second one, and as I also mentioned in that previous video, I am trying to fill up Newcrest with a mixture of colonial homes and suburban homes, or at least that is my plan. And like I said, this is the second one that I'm trying to build, or that I am actually building, and it's a colonial house. And that is something that I have actually never built before. I don't necessarily like building homes that are symmetrical. I've never ever built anything symmetrical because I don't know why. It's just not something that I gravitate towards. I always fiddle around with boxes and I try to make like interesting, funky shapes, interesting looking homes that are like different from every angle, and that is just what I like to fiddle around with, and how I like to kind of use my creativity when building homes. But for this one I thought it'd be fun to actually build something very symmetrical and colonial and a little bit more traditional in a way, which is, like I said, something that I have never done before and that I am not very comfortable with. Though I do really like the results. I do like the way that this house came out. It looks very luxurious and it's very large, and yeah, it just has this like very luxurious vibe around it, and yeah, I think it looks beautiful and I like it. And it was kind of nice to build something like this for a change. It was kind of, in a way, easier. Well, not necessarily easier, but the outside came together fairly quickly because I didn't have to really fiddle around with the shapes and sizes of the different boxes because I was going to make it symmetrical. So Dad did save me some time. So yeah, that was fairly easy in that way. So the outside came together fairly quickly, like I mentioned, and what did take me a long time, because this video is very long, the interior of the house was very difficult. I was struggling with that a lot, and I didn't record everything. I did sometimes just pause my recording to think about what I wanted to do with the space and the colors and the furniture and everything. And I tried a couple different things and then deleted it again to be able to record it later on. So it did actually take me a long time to furnish this house. And it was actually quite tiring in a way, which is funny because whenever I am building and furnishing a house, usually I get into this kind of zone or vibe that I don't want to stop because I get so inspired and I just want to keep going and furnish everything. But for this one, I built this one in a lot of shorter sittings because I don't know, especially when it comes to the interior. I think the exterior, I did that in like maybe 2 sittings, I think. But the interior, I think I did that in like 3 or 4 sittings because I didn't know sometimes how to go about it, and yeah, so that was sometimes a little bit difficult. And also the floor plan took me a long time. I usually don't record me fiddling around with the floor plan because it usually takes me a long time, and it did for this one as well. I think the upstairs floor plan, I deleted and redid it like 10 times. I'm not even exaggerating. That is, it was so difficult to me, but I did actually record it. Not all of it. I didn't record all of it, but I tried to keep as much of it in the video because I always think it's very interesting to, whenever I am watching speed builds, I always find it very interesting to see how people are like fiddling around with their floor plans and try to make it look as logical as possible. And I always like to see the trial and error, basically. So I tried to keep as much of that in my video as well. So I hope you guys find that enjoying to watch. And as far as the landscaping goes, that also took me a long time, but that was basically because it's just a really big lot and there's a lot of landscaping to do. And I did want to try and make that look symmetrical as well. Here you can see that I tried to make it look as symmetrical as possible in the beginning, but then I was like, no, this just looks too put together to me and it's not my style. Though I do want to make it look very luxurious and like very neat and everything. I didn't find it to be very realistic if it was too symmetrical. So the basic idea of the landscaping, I did keep that symmetrical, as you can see, but when I had placed all that down, I took a little bit of freedom to just place some extra plants everywhere and trees and rocks and everything to make it look not so put together, like not too neat. And the same goes for the backyard here. I did know from the get-go that I wanted a really big swimming pool in the backyard because the kind of family that lives here, I do imagine them to be very like a luxurious, like richer family, and they would want to have a big swimming pool in the backyard. And also because the backyard is so large, I needed to fill up the space with something. So I figured I am going to give them a large swimming pool because that really fits the house, in my opinion. So yeah, here you can see me fiddling around with the landscaping, and I did want to make it look a little bit overgrown because I do imagine this house to be a very old house. Well, not very old, but yeah, I don't actually really know how old, but I think it's quite an old house, and it has been here for a long time, and it probably has been in the family for a while too. Or not, maybe they bought this house as an older house and they renovated it completely or something. That could also be a possibility. But then again, the interior is not so modern. Like, I did try to make it look a little bit more traditional, a little bit older, if that makes any sense. So I don't think it has recently been renovated completely. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can go about the storyline for this house and how it came to be in the family. But yeah, I did want to make it look a little bit overgrown and a little bit older, because yeah, like I mentioned, the house has probably been here for a long time. And so that's why I tried to make it look as detailed as possible. I tried to add little details everywhere on the outside of the house. And here you can see me fiddling around with the downstairs floor plan. And this is definitely not the way it turned out, but you'll see that in a little while. You'll see me fiddling around with it for a little bit. I did try to, in the beginning, I tried to make it symmetrical on the inside as well, but then, I don't know, that just didn't really make any sense to me. And it would be a little bit boring to furnish as well, because I like to not, whenever I'm furnishing, I like when there is a little bit of variety in the shapes and sizes of the rooms that I'm furnishing. So here you can see that I moved on to the upstairs. There is 4 bedrooms upstairs, and there is 3 bathrooms upstairs. So basically the master bedroom has an ensuite, and then there is 2 bedrooms that have 1 bathroom in between. So that is basically an ensuite for 2 bedrooms. I think that there's a word for that, but I don't know what that's called. If you know what the word is for a bathroom like that has like 2 bedrooms connected to it. So it basically has 2 doors leading into the bathroom. There is a word for that. If you know that word, please let me know, because I can't remember for the life of me. But here you can see that coming together. And then there is an extra bedroom that I furnished to be an extra bedroom for whenever someone's staying over. And then there is an extra bathroom upstairs as well. And that is the bathroom that also has the laundry machines. So that is also the laundry room. And then there is another bathroom downstairs. So there should be more than enough bathrooms in this house for your Sims. And here you can see that I moved on to the interior of the house. I used this wooden flooring that I never actually used, but I thought it was so fitting for this house because it looks like this like hardwood flooring that is really old and detailed and probably makes a little like cracking sound when you're walking over it. Like I can just totally imagine what that floor would look like in real life and sound like and smell like. And I just thought that would be so fitting for this house. So basically when you first come into the house, there's a really spacious hallway that I really enjoy. I think that gives the house this like very luxurious vibe. And then when you go on to one side of the house, there is a living room and a study area and a mudroom. And then on the other side of the house, there's a large kitchen and a very large dining room. I tried to make that look a little bit like formal and luxurious. I feel like I've used the word luxurious in this video a lot of times, but that is just really the vibe that I was trying to go for. And I really wanted to get this living room over with as quickly as possible because oh my gosh, I was struggling with this living room so much, like the placement of the couches and the coffee table and the colors of the couches and everything. I just thought it was so difficult because I really wanted to use items that I don't necessarily use a lot and also colors that I don't necessarily use a lot because I'm trying to mix it up a little bit because if I keep like using furniture that is my style and my taste, then all my builds would end up looking the same. So I did really try and challenge my creativity in that way. So I try to use items that are not necessarily my taste, and I try to make it work as good as possible or as well as possible. But it took me a while, and it took me a lot of fiddling around, especially with the coffee tables. For some reason, the coffee tables weren't working with me. But I think this is how it ended up, with this like round kind of coffee table in the middle, and then two big couches and two of those chairs and a TV. And yeah, it's just kind of like the colors are a little bit like beigey and cream colored. I don't really necessarily like the color of those couches. I do really like those couches, but the colors that they come in, I don't really like that. But that's okay because like I said, I wanted to try and use furniture and colors that I don't necessarily would want in my own house. And I think I succeeded. There is also, as you can see, there is a lot of bookcases in this house. But I thought, that would just really fit the vibe of this house for some reason. It's older and there's a lot of bookcases in here. And I was thinking for the family that lives here, maybe one of the parents could be a teacher. I know that is kind of my go-to job or career for storylines. I don't know why. Well, basically my mom, she is a teacher as well, so I do kind of know what a teacher's house would look like or something like that. My mom is a teacher, and so I grew up in a house with lots and lots and lots of books everywhere, basically. So whenever I am building a house that has a lot of bookcases, I always go with the storyline that maybe one of the parents could be a teacher because then all the bookcases would make sense, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't really know exactly the storyline of the family that lives here. I did think about it a little bit, and what came to mind for me for this one was a family maybe with two dads and two daughters, two teenage daughters who are twins, and two dads. I don't know why, but that just came to mind, and I thought that'd be really fitting for this house. And so I was thinking maybe one of the parents could be a teacher, the other one, I don't really know, maybe something in business or something. I think it's going to be something that would make a lot of money because I did imagine this family to be quite rich, as I already mentioned. I do think they're pretty wealthy and they have a lot of money, and they're not snobby about it in any way, I don't think. But they have a nice house, and yeah, they're really well off probably. But as you can see, this is what I'm furnishing right now. This is kind of the mudroom. I think that's the definition of this room. It has a door that leads to the backyard and like some random storage items. And I also put an easel in here, so this could be like maybe a little painting room or painting area for one of the daughters, because I did think that one of the daughters was more on the creative side of things. She likes to play music. I also gave her a guitar, and I thought it'd be nice if she was into like painting and everything. So I did put a little area in there with an easel. So I think that she is the one that uses that easel and that she paints a lot. She's very creative, probably. Here you can see me fiddling around with the kitchen, and it was a little bit difficult. Like, I don't know. I still don't really like this kitchen. I mean, I like how it came out. I do. The backsplash and everything is going to do a lot of wonders, basically, for the look and feel of the kitchen. But yeah, I thought it was very difficult for some reason, because I was kind of over the wood tones and everything, but I didn't want to keep that theme going in the house. So I tried to make the kitchen look a little bit more brown and a little bit outdated. It's probably an older kitchen that hasn't been renovated for a long time, because it also, which is pretty nice, because it also gives the house like the authentic look and feel, basically, which is what I like about it. I didn't want to just make the outside look very old and colonial and traditional and the inside very modern and new. That just wouldn't make any sense to me. So they probably didn't renovate like everything in the house. So it does have this traditional look and feel about it on the inside as well. I do really like that little bar or that little island area with the bar stools. I think that is very cute. It's a cute little breakfast area, I guess. But I did have some space left, like in the back of the kitchen, as you can see. And I was fiddling around with that a lot. I didn't really know what to put there because there wasn't really enough space to place an extra little breakfast table or something. There wasn't really quite enough space for that. And it didn't really look right either. I didn't record me fiddling around with that. But I tried it and it just didn't really look good. So yeah, I just used the space for like some extra clutter and decor and just a little bit of extra space. I mean, that's fine. That makes it so that the house doesn't look too like cramped together, if that makes any sense. So now looking back at the footage, I actually do kind of like the kitchen. I didn't like it at the time because, like I said, I was struggling a lot to make it look good. But I do think in the end that it came together very nicely, and I like the brown tones. Like I said, it makes it look very old and dated, and just like a very old traditional house, and that is something that I never do. So yeah, that's that about the kitchen. And then there is a very large dining area. As you can see, I am furnishing that one right now, and I didn't really realize how large this space was until I tried to place a table in here. I tried to place one of the largest tables in there, and I was like, oh, I have so much space left. So what I decided to do was I put two tables together to make it look like one bigger table, and I do like that. I like the white chairs and the white table. I never really go for white when it comes to dining tables or dining chairs. I don't know why. I always try to go, or I always end up going with wood tones and like colorful chairs or something like that. But for this one, I thought the white was really fitting and really formal looking, which is what I like about this dining area. It looks very formal, and you can have like fancy dinner parties and everything in here. It's the perfect dining room for that, and I never really furnish dining rooms like that. So for this house, I thought it was very fitting and something different for a change. And I also added a little record player in there as well, so that when you're hosting like a dinner party or something, you can play some old school music. And I don't know, I just really like the vibe of the dining area. That one, for a change, came together very quickly. And this is the bathroom downstairs that I was talking about. At first, I wanted to go, like, my plan for this bathroom was just a half bathroom with only a toilet and a sink in there. But I did end up with a lot of space left in the bathroom, so I decided to put just a shower in there just to fill up some space. And it doesn't really hurt anyone to have an extra little shower in the house. It's fine. Maybe for guests or something. I mean, I just needed to fill up the space, so I decided to make it into a full bathroom. And as you can see, I moved on to the upstairs area, and I do really like how the floor plan of the upstairs area came out. So this basically is the master bedroom. The bedrooms aren't very spacious. I mean, they're definitely spacious enough. But they're not the biggest bedrooms. But that's okay. That made it a little bit easier to furnish and easier to make look, a little bit more cozy and lived in. And it really fit the house that the bedrooms weren't too big. I don't know why. But that, for me, that just kind of fit the house. And this is the master bedroom. I was really playing around with colors in here as well. I did go for a bed swatch that I have never actually used before. I don't think I've ever used that. Well, I have used the bed frame, like I've used it before, but I don't use it very often, and definitely not in that swatch. But I did like to combine that like dusty kind of beigey color with light blue. I thought that looked very fresh and something a little bit different. And I did think that the dads in this storyline, they are very much about like designer furniture, and they don't have heaps of it in their house, but I do imagine that they like to make certain areas, for example, their bedroom, look a little bit more like designer-ish, in that kind of style. So that's what I was thinking for the dads. And then this is one of the bedrooms for the daughters. I did imagine this girl to be, one of the more popular girls in school who is very much into like makeup, and she's maybe a girl that likes to go out and party a little bit, and likes to hang out with her friends a lot. And she is serious about school, because I do think that the parents, they do like try to bring up their kids in a way that they realize that school and education is very important. So I do think she's very serious about school because she was brought up that way. But she doesn't really necessarily want to go to university. She will probably go because her parents want her to go, but I'm not sure if she would want to finish it, or I don't know. I think she's the kind of girl that likes to be social and party a lot and hang out with her friends, as I mentioned. That's the kind of thing that she finds important, and that she tries to focus on. So that's the kind of girl that I think she would be. And then her sister, she is a little bit different. I think she is very creative, as I mentioned. She is the kind of girl that likes to paint and draw and play music. I also added a little guitar in her bedroom, but you'll see that after I furnish this one. I tried to make this one very colorful as well. I really like that wallpaper with the green like banana leaves or whatever they are on them. I really like to combine that wallpaper with like dusty light pink for some reason. I really like that color combination. And this bedroom, I was also playing around with colors a lot. I tried to mix lighter wood tones in this one with like gray, light gray and white, and like that dusty kind of purple on the wall. I've never used this color combination before, but I really like how it came to be, how it came out to be. And I cluttered this room up with like candles and paintings. I did imagine her to have painted those little paintings that I added above the bed. I do think that she painted those herself for her own bedroom. So she is a very creative kind of girl that maybe I do think that she wants to go to university later on and study something arts related, not necessarily like that she wants to be a professional painter herself, but maybe she wants to become like an arts critic or something like that. Or she wants to study like art history or something. I do think she is very into those kinds of subjects. And she's a little bit more serious about school probably. So that is kind of like the difference between those girls. I do think that they are twins though, but they are a little bit different in personality in that way. And I do really like how this bedroom came out. I think it looks very cute and I really like the colors. This is definitely the kind of color scheme that I would go for for my own bedroom. If I had the chance to just paint everything and buy new furniture, I think I would go for something like this. I don't know, I just really like the darker wood tones combined with the lighter wood tones and like the dusty purple and gray and white. I don't know, I just really like the vibe of this bedroom. And they came together quite easily as far as furniture goes. I don't know, it was fairly easy. And here you can see that I'm furnishing the bathroom that is in between those bedrooms. So I gave the girls both their own sink and mirror and stuff. So that is, in my opinion, that is pretty luxurious. I mean, I wish I had that as a teen. Like that would be so nice to just have your own sink and your own like place to, I don't know, your own place to get ready in the morning or get ready for bed that you don't have to share with anyone. I think that is very, very nice and luxurious. And I gave them a bathtub shower combination that they do have to share that, of course. But yeah, I really like the idea of having a bathroom in between their bedrooms. It's something that I've never done before, but I always like it when I see that in houses or in other people's builds. I never think of it because it's not really a thing. I live in the Netherlands and I have never seen a house that has that kind of thing. But in American houses, I've seen it before. So it's not something that comes to my mind very easily, but once it does, I always really like it. So yeah, and this is an extra bedroom. I didn't clutter that up too much and I totally talked over it, but that extra bedroom is just for people that like come over, stay the night, and I did put some extra like storage space around the bed. I did imagine that there is like photo albums and older books and old toys and stuff like that all in that room, like put away. And this is the extra bathroom that has the laundry machines in there and also a shower tub combination. It's the bathroom that they don't really necessarily use other than for the laundry machines or when there's guests staying over. And that was it for the furnishing of the house. And here you can see that I moved on to the backyard of the house, and yeah, it's very luxurious and like large and a lot of grass and a very large pool. Like you can easily swim laps in here. Like it's very large and very luxurious. It would be so cool to have that in your backyard. But yeah, that is basically the last thing that I am doing. I also just wanted to quickly mention that I hope everyone is doing okay with all this craziness going on in the world right now. I don't really want to talk about it. That's why I didn't really talk about it in my video, because if anything, I hope that my videos can maybe be some kind of a distraction to everyone who's watching. But I just wanted to quickly mention that I hope everyone is doing okay with all this craziness going on and everyone is staying safe and healthy as possible. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that, and I hope that all this madness will be over soon. That would be nice if that could be over soon. But anyway, I'm just finishing off the exterior of the house, the landscaping in the backyard. And that would be almost the end of this video. So you can download this house if you want to from the gallery. My gallery ID is at Simmarysims. Please do make sure to turn on bb.move objects before placing. I'm pretty sure everyone is aware of that, but sometimes when I don't forget, I like to just make sure and mention it. Because if you do place it without the cheat activated, then it will probably look very empty and messy and messed up. And that would be a shame. So, you can download it off the gallery. I'll also add the download link from the gallery website in the description box down below. You can also follow me on Instagram if you want. My Instagram handle is at Simmarysims as well. And you can also leave all your suggestions and questions and everything in the comment section down below. I'll always answer all of you. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!